Okay, Doug, here we go. Meg's going to demonstrate your exercises for you. We're going to start with you face down, either in bed or on a comfortable floor surface. And we're going to do a leg curl for your hamstrings and your glutes. Meg, start by pulling one heel up towards your buttock. Give it a little pull, then lay it back down, and then the other side. Good. And Doug, you may feel a little crampy when you do this, and you can continue, Meg. If your hamstring starts to cramp, then just don't pull quite as hard. The range of motion is good for this. And then also try both legs together pulled up toward the heel. If you can do both together, that's a better one to do. If you're getting too crampy or your back bothers you from being in this position, doing one at a time will be easier. Okay, and the next one, while you're still on the bed, is a prone leg scissor. So go ahead and lift one leg off the floor, Meg. Good, and back down. And then the other side. We're just going to alternate back and forth. And it may feel like it's a lot of work to do this exercise, and if you can just get your leg just off the table and that's it, that's fine. You'll find that as your glutes get stronger and your back gets stronger, you'll be able to do more than one. I'm sorry, you'll be able to lift them higher. Alright, Doug, we're going to do the McKenzie lumbar exercises next. These are similar to your neck exercises you did, except they're going to be for your low back. Start facing the wall, feet about 8 inches from the wall. Put both forearms up against the wall comfortably. You should just feel like you can kind of rest on them. And then keeping your knees straight, push your pelvis slowly toward the wall and then pull back until your spine's all in line again, and forward and back. It's going to feel like a little bounce. If you have any discomfort, it'll usually be on the forward part of that bounce, and just limit the amount of forward movement you do. Make it a smaller movement until this is a comfortable exercise. And that also applies to your cervical exercises too. If any movement is painful or uncomfortable, then just limit it a little bit until it becomes comfortable. Now we're going to do the side glide. What you just saw was the front glide. Meg's going to bend her arm, let her shoulder and arm and everything rest against the wall. She's also got her feet about 8 inches away. She's going to keep her legs straight for both of these, for this exercise as well. And then she's going to push her pelvis to the side. Doesn't have to touch the wall on this one or the previous exercise. We're just heading that direction. You won't have a whole lot of movement. Don't worry, that's pretty normal. And then switch around and do the other side. And by the way, I'll be giving you the number of repetitions to do on each of these to start with, but that number will be increasing as you get, as your body's able to do it more. This is a great lumbar disc rehab protocol, but it's good for low back mobility and rehabilitation in general. We're going to do the wall push-up next. This is for upper body, chest, shoulders, triceps. Meg, put your hands on the wall in front of you at a comfortable distance that you can push off from it with, and feet a comfortable distance away, and you'll see why. She's going to do a push-up on the wall. She's going to get about nose close and then push back out. Her body is relatively straight, her knees are locked. Just doing all the work with the chest and the arms and shoulders. And as you get stronger with this, you can step further from the wall, and that'll give you more resistance, so you'll actually be building more muscle. Now, a great low back, glute, and thigh exercise we're going to do is called a wall sit. This one you won't be able to last very long on. Don't worry, no one can. She's going to start with her butt, back, and shoulders and against the wall, and then she's going to step forward with her feet and kind of slide down the wall a little bit as she goes, and then put some bend in her knees to a comfortable depth that she feels like she can maintain for 20 or 30 seconds. And you want to make sure you keep a little arch in your low back as you do this, so that you don't feel like your low back is pressed flat against the wall. Feel like you're sticking your butt out, like arching your butt back, a little bit as you do this, but the butt is touching the wall. And you're going to feel some burn in your glutes and your thighs as you do this. This is a great one. Alright, Doug, this is a standing row. You notice Meg has some surgical tubing. Erin may be able to get you some of that from the hospital. She's got handles on hers. You can pick this stuff up in various lengths and resistance, like thickness of the tubing, at pretty much any sporting goods store, and they're real cheap. But the surgical tubing, if you just have the tubing, you just tie a loop in each end and that'll be your handle. Loop the tubing around some kind of vertical object. It can be a leg on a table that's not going anywhere, or sometimes it gets tricky. Sometimes you can sit and loop it around your feet as you're sitting with legs extended. And Meg's going to do a row. This is a middle row, so she's pulling her hands toward her midsection and finishing it with her palms against her ribs right there. And as she pulls back, and as you pull back, you're going to feel like you're throwing your chest forward and really kind of pinching those shoulder blades together behind you. This is a wonderful bicep exercise, upper, middle, and lower trap exercise. That's all the musculature on your back, the upper back. It's also going to be good for neck support, and a nice fluid movement, and nothing jerky or fast. Okay, now for your numb feet, we're going to do some calf stretches. There's a little doorway here. I don't know if you can see. Meg step down so you can see. Yeah, steps are great for this one. You're going to start with the forefoot resting on the top cleat of the step, not your toes. I don't want to do any toe stretching, but and then straighten that leg out so you're starting to bear weight on that leg. Knee is locked, and lower that heel down. Drop that heel down. You're going to feel the calf tighten up. Now you can support yourself in the doorway with your hands, and she's also using her left leg to kind of spot herself. If the stretch is too much, then just bear a little weight on that other leg, the non-stretch leg, and that'll reduce some of the stretch. 30-second stretch, switch sides, drop down, knee lock, that's key. That way you stretch both the calf muscles instead of just one.